Mohammed Shakar says, what is the solution for the fear of criticism and making mistakes when it comes to English speaking, especially when the learner tries to sound like a native? So a lot of it comes down to the simple fact that it's not done enough, right? In the same way that you don't feel confident on the first day of a job, in the same way that you don't feel confident when you're doing almost anything for the first time, playing tennis, you feel kind of shaky and what do I do? In the same way, when you're trying to sound natural in front of people who you think might be judging you, you might feel nervous. And what happens when people feel nervous? Nervousness has a real effect on performance in many different categories. So if you're nervous, you're not going to be able to find the words that you already know. You're not going to be able to remember all the lessons that you had, all the studying that you've done. But if you do it a lot, you'll get over it, and it'll be a natural process of gaining confidence. So the main suggestion would be to find the path of most resistance. Put yourself in difficult situations as often as you can. And the pain will gradually decrease over time. You'll find yourself in challenges that are much greater than the ones you're facing now. Giving presentations and doing proposals, very difficult things that right now may seem very difficult for you. And you'll look back on where you are now and you'll say, ha, I can't believe it. And that's just a natural process of always being at the edge of your ability, always pushing yourself to do the slightly harder thing. So in general, when it comes to opportunities to speak English, to use English, to practice English, to have conversations, to give presentations, to join Toastmasters, to join a meetup group and practice conversations, take all of those. Take the left road. The left road is the one that has a slight uphill grade. It shouldn't be a cliff, because you can fall off of a cliff, but it should be an uphill, a difficulty, a struggle, a slight pain, starting a YouTube channel, right? Speaking in front of people whenever you have the opportunity, rather than in all of those situations not doing it. Maybe not. Next time. Maybe the next time. And that's going to naturally cause you or allow you to become really confident and comfortable, at least much more so. But you also just have to realize that people don't really care that much. So if you think everyone is judging you all the time, it's mostly you judging them as judging you. You're looking through their eyes with your eyes, and you're coloring what they see with your own knowledge of your own inadequacies. You judge things in yourself as not good, and then you project those not good things onto the glasses of other people that then look at you, but that's not real. That's just in your head. And they might judge you for a quick moment, 10 seconds, and then they're going to go back to doing whatever they were doing. Most people don't care, right? If people do silly things, they go, what a silly thing that is. And then they go back to cutting the grass. So that might help you relax a little bit. And then the last thing is just habits. Habits. So, for example, if you're thinking about 100 things when you're trying to speak and you make a lot of mistakes, that's because some of those things are not as deep habits as they need to be. So you have to work those things down into the muscle memory space. And that would be something like pronunciation. If you have to think about how to pronounce the word 12, for example, you have to think about that as you're speaking, then it's going to take up some of your bandwidth, your mental bandwidth. How do I say that again? Then you have to try to fit the whole sentence together, and you have to think about the tense of the sentence. You have to think about the structure and all of these things. But you have only so much concentration bandwidth in your head. This is the bandwidth problem. So what do? You try to get as many of those things as possible, if not all of them, into the muscle memory space, which is sort of around the walls of your bandwidth cable, right? So that's pronunciation. So you practice the pronunciation of 12 1,000 times until you can say it without thinking about it. And if it's a habit, then when you speak, it just comes out correctly every time. Then you can focus on what you're saying. So you have to work on habits, because repetition and habits and practice are the things that allow you to move from trying to concentrate on everything to concentrating on one thing. And if you don't have those habits, then it's not going to happen for you. You'll never feel really comfortable. So work on your habits especially. And to do that, just practice speaking every day. Sit down, write a word down on a piece of paper. Maybe it's the word, theme of the day, democracy. And then talk about anything that comes to mind related to that word for 2 minutes. And because you're recording it on your phone, then go back and listen to it and take some notes on things you could improve. And then if there's a word that sounds weird, repeat that word many, many times until you can say it without thinking about it. And then there you go. And that's true for also learning vocabulary as well. It's a good question. Thank you for the question, Mohammed. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. And also check out my full courses, which are on sale, in the links in the description.